Call to order the Ironton City Council meeting of December 22nd, 2025. With us for our invocation tonight, we have Father Morris with St. Joseph and St. Lawrence O'Toole churches. If you would stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance immediately following. Father.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Gracious God, we give you thanks for the gift of your Son, who we are preparing to celebrate in this Christmas celebration. As he has given us life, help us to give life to each other and through this workings of this council. Help us to build up your city here in Ironton, that your people may forever proclaim your glory and sing your praises. Keep us safe and strong this year and into the year to come. And we ask this in the name of your Son, who is Lord forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, Craig.
Move to appoint temporary clerk John Devon.
Nate, I'll second. Have a motion by Craig and a second by Nate to appoint temporary clerk John Devon as council clerk. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Haney.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Simmons.
Aye.
Congratulations and thank you. Moving on, roll call, please.
Brown.
Here.
Haney.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Hawk.
Here.
Klein.
Here.
Scott. Simmons. Here.
Next on the agenda, we have the approval of minutes from the regular council meeting of December 11th, 2025, and the finance committee meeting of December 11th, 2025. Do we have any edits, additions, omissions to those minutes? Seeing none, those minutes stand as approved. Moving on to audience participation tonight, we have a couple representatives from the Ironton Tree Commission. If you guys would like to step to the podium, please do so.
Thank you, Council. Michael Pierce, 1957 North 4th Street here in Ironton.
Olivia Edwards, 1630 South 6th Street in Ironton.
We are here to represent the Ironton Tree Commission. To give you a little bit of background, it was formed at the urging of Ralph Klein this fall. Olivia Edwards is our chairperson. I'm the vice chair, and Lowell Broward is our secretary. Our purpose is to help Ironton with the removal of dangerous trees. Dangerous trees can impact in a number of ways. They can disrupt sidewalks, streets, sewer lines, even fall on buildings and homes. Our vision is to help plant new appropriate trees, creating what's known as the urban forest, and you'll hear that a number of times. Having appropriate trees helps property values, the aesthetics of the neighborhood. It helps with the cooling of homes and buildings in the summer, and it also helps with collection and dispersal of stormwater. We have received a grant, and we have organized our infrastructure. And to talk about that is Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how the Ironton Tree Commission works with the state and federal standards and a little bit about our grant and what that will include. We work closely with the Ohio State Forestry Program. We actually have a state urban forester attend each of our meetings and kind of give us guidance. In February, we're going to be participating in what's known as Tree Commission Academy, which is through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. And this will be to learn more about the state and national standards set for tree commissions and their inner workings. Any council member that wants to attend is more than welcome to, and the mayor always attends for free. Through this communication we have with ODNR, we've been able to receive a $57,000 grant, which will be to meet the needs of the urban forestry of the city, the landscape, education for trees and governance for this, pruning, removal of dead trees, and replacement of trees in the city. This grant is on a reimbursement basis, so we are awarded the $57,000 and we are able to request a reimbursement for what we've spent once a quarter. Throughout the term of this grant, we plan to work very closely with urban foresters and certified arborists. Any pruning and removal of trees is either done under supervision of or actually by a certified arborist who is qualified in tree risk assessment. All the planting will be done by the nursery that we purchase the trees from, or a contracted professional company, just depending on what the nursery offers. The urban forester assigned to our region is going to supervise and check all planting sites to ensure the trees being planted are according to state and national standards and ensure their survival and longevity to ensure that they will benefit Ironton for years to come. As for tree maintenance, this grant requires the city to be able to sustain the life of the trees planted. Ironton Tree Commission intends to partner with Ironton and Bloom to work out a maintenance plan much like they have for their trees throughout the 4 seasons of the year. Ironton Tree Commission is again going to be working with our urban forester to dictate best practices for tree maintenance. Future pruning for the trees will be supervised by a contracted tree risk assessment arborist.
So what we're asking from council this evening is to formally recognize the Ironton Tree Commission in ordinance. Also, there will need to be a line item put in the permanent budget because of the reimbursement grant. And we have to formally have someone designated as the responsible financial person. And typically in the other cities that this works in, it's the mayor. Because of the timeline that we're kind of on, we need this to happen a little sooner than later, and we're hoping that we can do this or get this done in January. So do you folks have any questions for us?
It'll just be a pass-through.
Great.
Is the grant annual or one time?
This grant goes through, I believe, 2029. So that this $57,000 is budgeted all the way through 2029.
The trees in the tree lawn or on private property, what trees are you talking about?
The way the grant works is that we will have arborists come into the city, and most of the trees that we will be working on or planting will be on city property to work kind of like in that urban forestry landscape. There is a budgeted line item for education and tree replacement for private citizens whose trees may have been damaged or moved by windstorms we've had in recent years. So that is a budgeted line item where they will be able to attend a class on tree maintenance and planting as given by the urban forester, and then they'll be able to pick a appropriately sized native tree for replacement on private
So
property.
this is for trees on city-owned property, okay.
So when you're talking about the grant for the $57,000, you're asking the city to be the facilitator of those funds. So we would like to have a fund designed for that specifically.
Yes.
That money will be paid out by the city for whatever, tree removal and so forth, and then reimbursed back to the city, is that?
Yes.
Okay. As far as the process for the grant reimbursement, who would lead who would be the lead on that? Is that one of you? Is that the financial
Is it
point?
quarterly?
It is quarterly. Quarterly, we would look at what we've spent and we would apply for reimbursement through the tree commission because we're the administrators of that grant and pay it back to the city.
Okay.
So basically, we would sign it within our organization, the mayor as financial, he would check that work, and then we send it in for reimbursement.
Okay. So we would need to we need to start a new fund, advance that fund $57,000, correct?
Yes.
Then once that's reimbursed back from the state, that can be returned to
Yes.
those funds. Okay. I know this is down the line, how would a resident go about requesting a tree in the tree lawn be removed or an issue or advised? Is there, a contact, or how would we get that?
We're in the process of setting that up. There'll be contact information via social media and other means. Put our emails, our contact information out there. They can get a hold of us. I have a tree down in my front yard. What can I do about it? We would then talk to them, talk to an arborist, put them in touch with them, see what can be done.
So is this committee have like revenue generating streams, or is it $57,000 and then once that $57,000 is done, it's over? Or I mean, how are we going to perpetuate this?
Is it right? It's reimbursed. Yeah, we get that grant yearly.
You get $57,000 annually?
We get $57,000 for the period of the grant, and this is a generally new commission that was formed, and we are in the process of working on other revenue streams. This is to kind of get us started, to get us educated. This is what part of the Tree Commission Academy will do, is kind of teach us how the successful communities do it. And we're, by 2029, when this grant period is up, we hope to have other revenue streams available.
About how much would one of these downtown on 3rd Street, about how much would a removal and then a new tree cost? Per tree, removal and then replacement?
It depends on the arborist you're using and the nursery you're using. Native Ohio trees can be anywhere from $100 to $500, just depending on what you get. And the pruning and removal depends on the arborist and what they charge. We're hoping to use local, smaller arborists and businesses.
So with that, I mean, $57,000 could cover quite a few trees.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
We have a line item in our budget for streetscaping that was intended for planters and watering and streetscaping to beautify downtown and city property. So I'd like to see that rolled into this fund as well, instead of being a single line item in the general fund.
Will that handcuff those funds? Just
No.
to specific
No, when we
trees?
set that up, we
Already, and I think it's in the community improvement fund. Isn't it?
then I thought it was.
Yeah, but it's still very, we've used it before. I know we did a lot of tree replacements when we had berry trees downtown that were causing a ruckus in a lot of storefronts. And we replaced a lot with the brushes, either brushes or some type of, that was early on in the 2020, I think. That ended up being about 20,000, but that was a lot of the lifting. There's still quite a bit of trees that, as they've identified some.
It may be important to note that although we'll be collaborating with Ironton and Bloom, we are a separate entity from them, funded separately.
And I'm thinking that the council had established the tree commission already in maybe 2024. I thought
I remember Ralph.
the establishment of it, so I didn't know if what you guys are asking for tonight was different than that.
Just to be sure, and then the financial responsibility has to be officially delegated to you.
Or my designate.
You're the designee, that's right.
Okay.
Nate?
That was my question. I thought we already passed legislation
I remember Ralph coming in here.
with that, but I'd be happy to sponsor. Do you have a template or something other communities have used for that Mac could use to prepare for that?
Not currently with me, but I could reach out and get it.
Okay, if you could reach out to that and then what you're looking at and get that to Mac, I'd be happy to sponsor that also with that. And then Mac, could you put together, John, could you work together with Mac to establish a new separate fund?
Yes.
For Ironton Tree Commission?
We could probably do it on one ordinance. You know, except I need your action. Are you an LLC or you know?
We're not, no.
What's your formal name?
Ironton Tree Commission.
Iron Tree Commission.
Yeah, I think that they had to be established by council to apply for the grant initially.
I wasn't around then, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's commissioned by.
I'm pretty sure because Ralph came to council one time.
There is
It was
something
about
else
the
that
state
you
forestry. I know it was about the state forestry. I didn't know.
If that's what we've been
I'm
doing,
pretty
that's
sure
good.
But maybe there is something else they need, I don't know.
Well, we certainly need the budgetary items and
John?
So just for clarification, because I've not understood it, is it 57,000 per year for 3 years, or 3 years that total 57,000?
Total.
So about, I don't know, 20, close to $20,000 a year. Okay, thank you.
I think we'll, make city sponsors, we'll have something on the, one of the agendas in January.
thank you very much. We appreciate you folks.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Continuing the findings of participation, if you'd like to address council, please step to the podium, state your name, address, and you'll have 5 minutes to address council.
Hello, my name's Jeffrey Wyatt Lewis. I live at 2617 South 13th Street. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys for just giving us the opportunity to come here and talk. I want to, okay, so I've been a resident in Ironton for about 2 years. My wife and I moved here about 2 years ago, and you know, being a new homeowner and everything, you typically think about the future, how long you're going to be there. You hope it's not going to be your forever home, and usually you don't have any outside factors that can really hinder that. But this past weekend, we did have something that came up that I'm sure you guys have all seen about, which is the potential development of a AI data center opening not just in our county, but a few minutes from Ironton out in Hanging Rock. I think, like a lot of people, I have a lot of concerns with this. There was recently a petition that was made. So far, it's gained about 1,800 signatures in just the span of about a day, voicing concerns about the potential of this. From my understanding, communicating with a few of the council members up here already, it sounds like it wasn't very transparent with you all either that this was happening. So this is kind of new information for you guys too, from my understanding. So this isn't me coming up here expecting you guys to have some solution or answer right now. But I just wanted to express some concerns about this, just to make, I guess, more people aware of what's going on. So the claim that has been going on with this data center that is coming up is that it's supposed to be a sustainable energy, that in quotations directly from an interview with them, that it may not tap into our city utilities. I still do raise my concerns with that. Based on studies that have shown just time and time again with data centers as they're growing, especially these AI data centers, they use substantial amounts of energy, and energy is needed to be on at all times in a nonstop cycle. Typically they have to be running all day, every day, all the time. And this filters between large consumptions of water and an excessive amount of electric. To kind of back up the data, a recent study from the University of Michigan has shown that data centers consume more than 4% of the U.S. water in 2023, and that number is expected to rise to 12% in 2028. This equates to most facilities individually using 10 million gallons, or around 38 million liters a year for just one facility. To use even more numbers, this past year's numbers show that data centers use equivalent or beyond the entire world's annual water bottle consumption. So a very, very excessive amount of water that they do have to use. And again, while the claim is this new data center will not need to use any of our resources, that is still debatable. The company building this data center is using a purely theoretical and experimental form of energy consumption, which leaves us to be essentially just guinea pigs or test subjects for what's going to come from this. That leads into, when does it become something that our water ends up getting used, our electric gets used? what pollutants are going to come out of this. There's still just, I think, too many questions for this to be something that does get signed off on. This in science is still showing that we are nowhere near to an environmentally friendly, sustainable data center. The data center that's being projected right now is going to use a hybrid of different methods, one of them being solar and wind panels, but they're not sustainable for AI data centers since they do have to be running at a full throttle of 99% at the minimum, and those are usually inconsistent. Along with this, I think this just comes back to just people in general already struggling with being able to pay their bills. Electric bills are just getting higher and more consistently, and it's been shown on average that people can expect anywhere from a 5 to 20% hike within the first year of a data center being put up. And the issue that comes with that as well is that if a data center is in the area, is it going to be able to keep people staying here? The reason to kind of tie back to what I said is that this does become real conversations that even me and my wife have had of, do we need to start thinking about the future? Do we want to stay in an area with a data center? And then would people actually want to move into one? So again, this is just something that I just hope you guys can just think on and consider, and that this can be something that can be hopefully figured out. So thank you.
Thank you. I do want to mention, I saw Mr. Harvey at the gas station last night, and that was basically our conversation was about, because it was brand new to me Friday. I'm still kind of researching myself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and you know, BS you. I don't know enough myself to really, you know, have a lot to say. There are some things that are concerning, and I'm researching myself. Craig.
The clerk let us have it at Speedway. That's how we had that conversation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
and I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But he was like, my TVs and my washing machine, they're all on power surge. And I was like, wait a second, I don't even know what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
our conversation came from getting ripped by Speedway.
yeah, he was serious about it. So I am currently researching. I'm sure everybody, I know Ms. Simmons, you know, brought it to my attention about a few issues, and we take this very seriously. So I don't like to make decisions about anything without knowing, you know, doing some research.
For sure, and that's still such a newly developing thing. I think everyone's still figuring out. So
it's definitely on our mind. So I appreciate you coming and speaking.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Danielle Fletcher. I live at 1392 County Road 1A, Ironton, Ohio, 45638. I am one of 5 in a generational family that live right across the road from this soon-to-be Serta company that's coming in, Strata. I'm not good at public speaking, so I apologize. Serta Expanse. So this was news to us. Like, we're in an area where there's a lot of industry coming in. We've been quite supportive of that. My grandmother bought our property 40-some years ago. I had always had intentions of passing it down to my daughters. I'm not sure that that's in the future. My husband and I have done a lot of research and reading on a company that's just come out of nowhere. The reading that we have done, you look at communities like Cheyenne, Wyoming. They're disappearing because of companies like this. And what's the urgency? It's being rushed. We went from a quiet community to being kept up all night long for a hush-hush, quick, groundbreaking ceremony.
They build it overnight. They started in the morning and 24 hours build it overnight.
These companies are coming in and talking about safe energy and stuff, but I see other things. I know of secrets that happen in that area. Old cemeteries being covered up by the Lawrence County Economic Development Corporation. I have spoken my opinion about it. I have boycotted and personally stopped things that I've seen being covered up physically, but nothing gets done. It's like, sweep it under the rug, don't talk about it, let's not address it. Well, this affects not only us, but our whole county. These companies come in, Serta Expanse in particular, they said that they don't just set up shop, they move in and take over the whole area. They don't just build one company, they build 20 to 30. So my question to the council is, what are the other locations? Why are they not being disclosed? Why not talk to the community instead of just blindsiding us overnight with it?
I mean, I can answer that. For one, it's not in city limits, and I'll tell you, the first I heard about it was, I guess, Friday when they did the groundbreaking ceremony. So, you know, put those together with us, you know, it's not in city limits. I don't think a lot of people were privy to what was going on.
Well, additionally, what about the residents that are living in that area? Is eminent domain our future?
That would be, I guess, Hanging Rock. You'd have to go to Hanging Rock's council for that.
I don't know if it's in there, it'd be like township or county.
Hamilton Township.
Yeah, I think their corporations, or the city or village is just the village there.
Okay, well, yeah, it would be truthfully more of a discussion for county commissioners. That's who I intend to contact, and I urge you to do the same, because it is concerning. It's, you know, just conversations over the weekend. It happened on Friday, and this is Monday, and that's all I've heard about for, you know, the last
There was
2
literally
days.
nothing there. Thursday, it was all dropped up that night and done that night.
So I definitely urge you to contact your county commissioners, even if you want to go to the state representatives. Because like I said, I don't know enough about the subject myself to have a strong, what I've seen is negative, but I don't have a strong opinion to know what to do to combat what we're looking at.
So the other 20 to 30 sites are not known yet either?
This is the first I've ever heard of an AI data center in Lawrence County, and anybody else heard of any? I have not. I mean, that one was brand new to me.
I've seen the 20 to 30 circulate online a little bit over the last couple of days, but I haven't seen any concrete evidence. But all this is new to us, as we've all said too.
Look up Cheyenne, Wyoming
Cheyenne.
with the same company, and you'll see what our future is going to be.
Check it.
I've done a little research into this too, and I share similar concerns with it. This company, it seems like their website just exists for this press release, and their chief revenue officer doesn't have any digital footprint.
Nope.
And
numbers.
yeah, and the other parties involved. I mean, you've got the company that's providing the hardware has been involved in trading with Iran, China. I mean, this whole thing is really
It's
troublesome.
bigger than what we're ready for.
So I don't, we're Ironton. This has nothing to do with the city proper, but if I worry about like the Wild West type situations we've been in before, and I would be in support of a moratorium on establishing anything within the city limits of Ironton. I don't even know if they would consider that, but I feel like there's just so many unknowns right now.
Mike, can we establish something like that for the, I guess, as an emergency due to the fact that there's not a lot of information out on this, and we would have to look at some of the possible negative impacts it could have.
Yeah, you mean emergency legislation that says what? I mean, you can.
Moratorium or?
They have not informed the community. They just, boom, we're here.
Kind of like what we did on zoning. We put a moratorium on that until we had a chance to look into it more.
Is that
we can do that?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any because we don't really have any viable sites for them.
Well, if they put one up overnight,
we have maybe 5 acres available in the city that's for development because the rest of it's like.
How much space do they need?
I can answer
that's
that.
a huge.
Their press conference released it as They will have something mobile in 2 weeks. In 6 weeks, they will be operational. In 6 months, it's just going to keep growing. And they take anywhere from 90 to 300 acres.
Yeah.
And that's for one site. And they're talking about extending it through multiple sites throughout Lawrence County. Where are these 20 to 30 sites going? It affects not just our community, but our whole county.
I agree, and I think there's enough concern for us to possibly have something next agenda. What that is, what that looks like, I'm not sure. Craig?
I'd like to request us as a body to reach out to the county commissioners and request a meeting with them on the record to discuss this and
Yes.
I agree.
And sooner rather than later. And I know that's sometimes logistically hard, but I think it's something urgent. And I don't appreciate the no heads up.
Fly by night.
Yeah.
I agree. I do think within the city, yes, I think there's support to, I'm not speaking for anybody else, I'm speaking for myself, to look into this and halt anything from coming into the city. Now, countywide, we have no jurisdiction or no say-so in that, so that's why I would, like Craig said, want to reach out to our county commissioners, and I urge residents within the city or outside the city to do that as well.
I call Ironton my home. I know I'm a Lawrence County country girl, but
That's fine.
Ironton is my home.
Well, we appreciate that.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any other audience participation?
Do I have to stand up at the podium or can I just stand here?
Do you have like physical?
Well, I just want to tell you a few things.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Lisa Moore, 1398 County Road 1A, Ironton, Ohio, directly across the road from the little thing that they built overnight.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, that was my daughter. There's 5 generations living on my property. If this state plant goes through, we're leaving. We're not just leaving that area, we're leaving Lawrence County. I've talked to several other families down the road. They said the same thing. If Lawrence County doesn't have my back, I'm not staying here. So you guys are going to be losing a lot of residents to this. We have all supported every business that went in down there except for the pot plant. None of us were happy about the pot plant. Now, when they bring these plants in, everybody goes, oh, it's jobs, it's jobs. No, it's not. They bring their own people in. When they built that Pure Cycle, there wasn't nothing but Texas license plates over there. There wasn't Ironton or Kentucky or West Virginia license plates. It was all Texas license plates. So therefore, it's not really bringing in a whole lot of jobs. And I don't know how you guys got blindsided by this. That's the thing that's blowing my mind. Aren't you guys all?
We're Ironton City.
I know, but
that's
don't
outside
you
of
all
our.
talk? I mean,
They don't have to share
all the
anything with
politics
us.
doesn't talk to each other?
We're really, it's kind of hard for us to even get a dog catcher to come into town from the county. So no, they don't keep us
That's
informed
crazy.
on a lot of
That
stuff.
just blows my mind. That's crazy.
That's not on us. We've reached out to them multiple times about many different issues, and a lot of times it's crickets.
When is your next meeting here that you're going to address this issue?
It'll be the second Thursday of January.
Of January?
Yeah.
Huh?
8th.
8th
January 8th. Craig?
Okay.
That's it, Ms. Moore. That's if they show up. We have had issues in the past where we've called a joint meeting, and we do have a couple of commissioners that will show up, but they don't all typically show up, and so we'll invite them. There's no guarantee. We can't hold their feet to the fire at any different than any other citizen of Lawrence County can. It's just a formal request coming from a legislative
So
body.
do you think that it would help if I told all the neighbors that, hey, call your county commissioners and start asking them to be at that meeting so we can discuss things? I mean, because I don't like getting blindsided. Everything that came in down there, we knew ahead of time it was coming in. Okay, I left on Thursday morning and I seen some trucks pull in right there in front of Rumpke. Came back home later that afternoon, and they've got a building there. They stayed up all night, making no god-awful noise, kept us up all night building that thing so that they could have that press conference the next day. And then when I found out what it was going to be, I've had no good reports, none. It's just, I just think it's going to hurt us more than it's going to help us. Everybody says, oh, it's going to be jobs. Oh, it's gonna... 2 people need to run a data center. That's it.
I share your
And it's
concern.
wiping out
I
towns.
do. And like I said, the first I've heard about it was Friday, and actually, I didn't even, my nephew asked me what it was. I had no idea.
Well, I had seen a couple of them here and there and had read up on it, but I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention because it wasn't my town, you know what I mean? But now it's in my front yard,
Yeah.
so.
Robert?
I was just going to encourage you, in addition to county, also you reach out to your state senator.
Yeah,
state,
I was going to do that and
representative.
even try to get a hold of the governor.
Yeah, because it's one of those things. This is it's new-ish for everyone across the board, and a lot of times legislation lags.
Well, adding
in
to that,
newer
not to interrupt,
industries.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're great.
They also mentioned that they were going to expand throughout the whole state.
Right, and I know
Yeah, so
there
there's
are
After they conquered Lawrence County and, excuse me, expanded in Lawrence County,
Right.
then they were going to expand in Ohio.
We will do what we can. Now, we can, like I said, we can't control anything outside Ironton with legislation that comes from county commissioners. So I urge you guys, we will as well, urge you guys to contact them and we will set up a joint meeting.
Because like she
Or
said,
invite
we
them.
have fought them over covering up old cemeteries. And there's 2 Indian burial grounds down there, which I know where they're at, but I don't tell a whole lot of people because I don't want people wanting to dig them up. But you know, they're in the path of all this as well. So, just wanted to feed you that information.
Well, we appreciate your guys' concern. Any other audience participation?
Hi, I'm Cassidy Adams. I created the petition against the AI data centers. I know you guys were definitely blindsided from talking to a couple of you, and excuse my public speaking, I'm not very good, and I'm having a heart attack right now, but I just want to thank you guys and come to ask you to maybe be our voice, which it sounds like you are willing to be that. I myself, and I know a few others, will be attending commissioners' meetings and other things to express our concerns. So, thank you.
That's what we need from everybody is attending the county commissioners' meetings and holding them accountable for any other audience participation tonight.
Hi, my name's Haley Sisler. I live at 2163 County Road 22. I live right outside of Ironton, but for many people that live out there, Ironton is the only place where we can go to get groceries or go to pay our bills. Most things are in town. My concern, and I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of young people that live here, with the data centers possibly being put in and the environmental effects it could cause, I fear that a lot of people won't stay in Lawrence County or Ironton just because it could get bad fast, okay? These data centers, they promise jobs, and usually 9 times out of 10, they don't give the jobs that they're promised. There's not a lot of work in Ironton. There's not a lot of work surrounding the county. When we're promised things and we can't have them, say that we go in and we ask for a job at this place, we can't have it. That puts someone out of work. My concern, I'm scared that it's going to run up electricity bills, water bills, and it's overall going to be very bad for the environment. I see posts every day of people saying they can't pay their bills. I think we need to be focusing on how we can make things more affordable for people instead of putting in data centers that could possibly make it worse. I don't have much to say, but this is not going to be good. And for those of us that live right outside of Ironton, there's a lot of agriculture, there's a lot of creeks. I fear that they're going to put those data centers in there and it's going to make things worse for farmers and everyone that lives outside, I mean, they could exploit us easily because there won't be coverage. All I ask is that you guys listen to our concerns and do anything you can. I don't know if you guys are who we should be speaking to, but all I ask is that you listen. That's all I've got.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your concern. Any other audience participation?
Hello, my name is Charlotte Blair. I live at 721 Gun Street in Colbert. I don't have much to say on top of what everyone else has already said, so I won't talk your guys' ears off about the same talking points, but just going off of what everyone else has said. This is a brand new company. It just started within this year, within months. I don't think a company that just started this year within months knows what to do for their own website, let alone an entire community, county. But just talking on the jobs, that seems to be the opposing talking point of this cause. This creates jobs. That's the good thing about it, right? So this is a resource talking about that. It says data centers need workers for construction and setup, but once operational, they are highly automated and require only a small team for maintenance, monitoring, and management. Some new jobs appear in related sectors such as telecommunications, software, and facility management, but direct job creation is limited and often concentrated in a few regions. The last two positions are mostly technical or specialized, and large data centers rarely create hundreds of ongoing local jobs, especially in smaller towns. So they will be stealing our land and handing out the jobs, or lack thereof, to people not even from here. There are no jobs. There's just guaranteed air and water pollution, respiratory illness, cancer, insane electric bills, and no jobs. We fight for your fellow man over machine. We don't know these bigwigs. They don't know us. They know nothing about our town or our livelihoods, and they want to take everything from us, all so that 5 people may or may not get jobs. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate your concern. I believe that the AI data centers are definitely on our radar, and we are formulating a plan. So is there any audience participation that doesn't pertain to AI data centers? All right, moving along. Moving on to communications, there are none. Reports, there are none. Ordinances. John, would you please give ordinance 2558 first reading?
Yes, amending the permanent operating budget for the city of Ironton, state of Ohio for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Nate?
I'd like to make mention that ordinance 2558 received favorable recommendation from the Finance Committee. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and give ordinance 2558 second and third reading by title only.
Jacob?
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Nate and a second by Jacob to suspend the rules and give ordinance 2558 second and third reading by title only. Roll call, please.
Brown?
Aye.
Hany?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Hawk?
Aye.
Klein?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Simmons? Aye.
The rules have been suspended for ordinance 2558. Would you please give second and third reading of ordinance 2558?
Yes, amending the permanent operating budget for the city of Ironton, state of Ohio for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. Second reading. Amending the permanent operating budget for the city of Ironton, state of Ohio for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. Third reading.
Nate?
I can make a motion to adopt ordinance 2558.
Craig? Jacob? Either one? Craig?
Second.
We have a motion by Nate and a second by Craig to adopt ordinance 2558. Roll call, please.
Brown?
Aye.
Hany?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Hawk?
Aye.
Klein?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Simmons? Aye.
Ordinance 2558 has been adopted. John, would you please give ordinance 2559 first reading by title only?
Authorizing the mayor to award contracts for the disposal of municipal solid waste and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Nate?
Let me make note that ordinance 2559 received favorable recommendation from the Finance Committee. I'd like to make a motion to give suspend the rules and give ordinance 2559 second and third reading by title only.
Jacob?
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Nate, motion by Nate and a second by Jacob to suspend the rules and give second and third reading of 2559. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott. Stevens.
Discussion real quick. Mayor, we good? You good with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Johnny, would you please give ordinance 2559 second and third reading by title only?
Yes. Authorizing the mayor to award contracts for the disposal of municipal solid waste and declaring an emergency. Second reading. Authorizing the mayor to award contracts for the disposal of municipal solid waste and declaring an emergency. Third reading.
Nate?
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 2559.
Craig?
Second.
Have a motion by Nate and a second by Craig to adopt 2559. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Stevens.
Ordinance 2559 has been adopted. John, would you please give ordinance 2560 first reading by title only?
Amending codified ordinance sections 1046.02, 1046.10, and 1046.08, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Just some discussion on that. So the purpose of this particular ordinance, and I'm open to any discussion from the rest of you guys, but for one was to delete the requirement for a social security card. Currently it's needed to turn water on, which is kind of a major inconvenience for customers. Most people don't carry their social security card around. Number two, section 2 is to allow customers to pay by cash, check, credit, or debit card in the office, again, for customer convenience sake. And then section 3, the purpose of that was just to bring alignment between how we treat owners and renters instead of having two different deposit amounts and policies, just bringing that under one umbrella.
Nate?
Sorry, discussion.
Yep.
I'd like to have a little more time to take a look at this, and
Sure.
can we have a recommendation by PUC? Committee?
I'm greatly sending it over to PUC.
Yeah, is that possible?
Yeah. We've got,
Who's PUC now?
I think it's me.
me, Craig, and Troy. Yeah.
Who's the chair? Me.
Do we need a motion to refer that to committee? Or?
No, we'll just call the meeting. Quick question, John. Do we need, because we've got some ordinances attached to that for non-payment, do we need a social security number in order?
It's.
Go ahead.
I feel like the concern is that they need the physical card.
Correct.
They don't. They can't accept the number. You have to bring your physical card in.
Then make a copy of your physical card.
Which I don't.
I'm not sure that's
I mean, I'm the one that carries that around.
But do we need, well, I
I
don't
don't
know,
believe we need the physical card.
but we need a social security number.
Every time I come in, they ask for the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, they require a copy of it.
Okay, that was one issue I had with that. I'm with Nate though, I'd like to look into this and we'll set up a PUC meeting, Ms. Lange. Everybody good? No more discussion? All right. Moving along, John, would you please give ordinance 2553 second reading by title only?
An ordinance to adopt a cybersecurity program and declaring an emergency. Second reading.
Jacob?
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and give ordinance 2553 third reading by title only.
Craig?
I'll second.
I have a motion by Jacob and a second by Craig to suspend the rules and give ordinance 2553 third reading by title only. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Stevens.
The rules have been suspended for ordinance 2553. John, would you please give that third reading by title only?
An ordinance to adopt a cybersecurity program and declaring an emergency. Third reading.
Jacob?
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 2553.
Craig?
Second.
Have a motion by Jacob and a second by Craig to adopt 2553. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Stevens.
Ordinance 2553 has been adopted. Moving along to ordinance 2557. John, would you please give that second reading by title only?
prohibiting registered sex offenders from being present on school property or at school-related events and declaring an emergency. Second reading.
Do we have discussion?
Discussion.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to propose an amendment, just with limited exceptions concerning voting at a polling place and parent or legal guardian participation in school meetings.
Nate?
Discussion.
Discussion.
I understand, the concern for that, but I personally feel, and I'm being in the education system, that there are accommodations that can be made as far as telephone, Zoom, digital signature. And I also feel that with the Board of Elections, that there's ample accommodations made for absentee, early voting, and on-site location voting on Board of Elections. So, and I understand that, but that's my feelings on that.
Nate, I would tend to agree with you on that, because even if it's an IEP meeting, you can have those virtually or over the phone. And truthfully, if there's a month or so, they can either absentee vote or they can go to the Board of Elections and vote themselves. So I think I'm with Nate on that. Any other discussion? Craig?
I'll leave it to you education people to discuss IEPs, but I do think we're setting ourselves up for a civil rights violation if we exclude people from polling places. I think it's a bad look. Yeah, So Sarah, I don't know if you formally motioned your amendment, but if you you can take from the discussion what you will. I'm perfectly willing to support amending it for polling voting purposes because of potential civil rights violations.
Solicitor. Yeah, what do you put on that?
I don't think it would violate it. I mean, they're in the schools, if they're registered sex offenders, Ohio already restricts them from living within 1,000 feet of the school. I think you could restrict them because state law is silent on that. You know, we can't be contrary to state law on it. But since state law doesn't say anything about schools, I think you could do it. And the fact that there might be a polling place, usually the schools aren't even open then, but during the election, they usually close the schools. So I don't know that it would affect that. But like Nate said, there's lots of opportunities to vote now. You can vote, anybody can vote absentee, you can vote early, so I'm not so sure it would be successful.
Got Jacob, Troy, and then Robbie. Jacob.
I mean, I just worry about the possibility that there is still room for like a civil suit. So I don't understand why we wouldn't just try and cover our ass, honestly, there.
When you're convicted of those crimes and you're required to register as a sex offender, you lose certain civil liberties.
Troy.
I guess I was going to say something similar to Jacob. I didn't know if we were even able to dictate that someone had to vote early or vote at board elections at their polling places. Ironton High School, let's say.
They don't have to vote at all. They can, But if it's not in the state, I'm wholeheartedly agree with that, because like you said, if you are convicted of those crimes and you're not allowed children to go around children, the last place you should be in the school, right?
I was just going to say, for me, that the election day issue is a non-issue for me because the students aren't present. Like when the school is a polling place, the schools aren't in session.
Well, they have multiple extracurriculars practicing during those days. Multiple. I can attest to that personally. Multiple.
Perhaps that could be an issue, and maybe that's that one day a year, perhaps school could arrange security, to make sure people are staying in their particular areas of the school. So for me, that one is, I'm good either way on that. I wouldn't mind. I'll go either direction on that. I'm going to support the ordinance to move forward, but with the IEPs, that one does concern me a little bit more because school is in session, and so I kind of lean towards let's figure out, maybe the schools can figure out an alternative way, whether that is the IEP director meeting off-site, whether it's Zoom, whether it's telephone call. Yeah, for me, that's where I stand on that.
Nate?
Discussion. I also, like I said, I was not here at our last meeting when this was given first reading, so I know, I'm sorry, maybe blindsided you, but I sponsored this just because I had been notified by several people about concerns of sex offenders being on school property, at school events, at extracurricular activities, at games, with a history of trying to solicit underage people. And when people bring that concern to me, it's concerning to me.
That's it.
Great.
So, Nate, you and Chris, but Aaron Bollinger came and talked to us on your behalf. Just, he gave the context of what this was about.
Okay.
The only thing I think about with the voting is that Ohio already decides whenever people lose their right to vote. That's really the only thing that I think is important, is not creating burdens for voters, even if they're offenders, and especially if kids won't be at school during that time.
They will be at school at that time, that is the thing.
But you guys have like another meeting, like strategic planning they mentioned, and maybe invite the school board, like Brigham said. That's what Brigham's recommendation was.
Was it?
Yeah. And maybe get the Board of Elections to have somebody here too, just to cover everything.
Do that, Jacob?
I'd call a strategic planning committee meeting before the next council meeting. What do we have there?
County commissioners and people.
Okay.
Cram it all in.
Yeah, I mean, we can. Yeah, fine with me. All right.
To follow, not to start.
I think that
To
was
follow.
That was his recommendation. What was it, that or reach out
It
to
was
him?
that, and I did reach out to the superintendent of Ironton City Schools, and then when I didn't get a response there, I reached out to the Lawrence County ESC, and they asked if there were allowances for those two things. I said, as it's currently written, no. But they suggested getting feedback from Ironton City Schools. If somebody else has a contact with the Board of Education or any member.
They're very transparent these days.
Well, I just couldn't get a call back from the superintendent, so if somebody else has a better contact there, that'd be great.
We can reach out to them. Moving on with resolutions. Craig.
I'd like to move to remove from the table resolutions 2554 and 2555 regarding now and then certificates.
Jacob?
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Craig and a second by Jacob to remove from the table resolution 2554 and 2555. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Simmons. Aye.
Craig.
I'll make mention for Nate's sake, the Finance Committee gave those two favorable recommendations without you present last time, and move to pass resolution 2554. One at a time, Mac, or can I do them both together?
Do them together unless someone moves a second.
Move to pass resolution 2554 and 2555.
Jacob.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Craig and a second by Jacob to pass resolutions 2554 and 2555. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Simmons. Aye.
Yeah, I had to have been read on the table, but I'm read and they're moving the table. Yeah.
Resolutions 2554 and 2555 have been passed. Craig?
Two more things. One, I'd like to move to authorize the city solicitors to file action on behalf of the Ironton or on behalf of the city of Ironton regarding easement at the Calico property for infrastructure.
Nate, we have a motion by Craig and a second by Nate to move, for the solicitors to move to file action on a Kellicote company.
Regarding easement.
Regarding easement.
It's Calico, K-E-L-L-I-C-O.
Kellicote?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the action, just to let, I don't know if everybody knows what we're talking about. We're bringing two counts. It's a quiet title action. We think that we may even have a written easement that the person granted back in 1939. We've done a title exam, ran the title back. It's not an actual easement, but it gives the city, it makes the city, this person deeded property to the city when they were building the flood wall down there on 4th Street, which is now Thomas Street. They deeded that property to the city, and then they put a statement in the deed that required the city to put these drainage pipes on the rest of their property, which is now the Calico property and other pieces of property there. We think that might be a sufficient easement. But if the court would say it's not, our count two is that we've acquired an easement by prescription, meaning we have used that for more than 21 years without their consent and without them stopping us, and so we've now acquired the right to continue to use it. So that's our two claims in the alternative, really. So just to let you know what it is. And if council authorizes us, we'll file that tomorrow.
Okay. We have motion by Craig, second by Nate. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Haney.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Sands. Aye.
All right, that has been approved. Craig?
I'd like to humbly request the chair to ask the Lawrence County Commission to join the Ironton City Council for a joint meeting regarding the AI data center. I said Dennis.
Interesting.
It's like pulling teeth. Miss a beat on that one. The AI data center.
Is it considered a joint meeting, or it would have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. January 8th, 5 p.m.
Will do. Mike?
I'd like to make a motion to accept and make part of the minutes of the November 2025 financials.
Jacob?
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Nate and second by Jacob to accept the November 2025 financials. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Haney.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Simmons. Aye.
Let's
One
get
more.
Craig over with.
One more
here.
thing.
I got you.
I'd like to request a public utilities committee meeting on January 8th to follow the joint meeting of the Ironton City Council and the Lawrence County Commissioners.
PUC meeting 2026, 1/8/26, immediately following joint, sorry, I might miss it on, joint commissioner, county commissioner, and council in council chambers.
Does that work for you, George?
PUC, January 8th, 2026, immediately following joint council commissioners meeting in council chambers.
Correct.
Good.
Yes,
All
thank
right. That has officially been called. Nate?
I've invited two invited guests, and I can reschedule this. I know it's going to be tight. One is Zoe Clay with the Ohio State Extension Office for the January 8th meeting. I can reschedule that, or
What's that for?
there's some Sarah had put me in contact with her, possible grant opportunities for.
Well, I mean, if it's time sensitive.
I like if we could just do it in a regular meeting as
Invited guest.
Invited guest.
Yeah.
And then on
Zoe Clay?
Zoe Clay.
Zoe Clay with the Ohio State what?
Extension Office. And then January 22nd, invited Kevin Wood for, engineer update. And then.
That's January 8th also?
No.
22nd, sorry, I'm right.
And I'm gonna make a motion for executive session if there's anybody else.
Mayor, you got any updates for us?
Yeah, we, on both of our ACGP projects have received additional funding from those that they've taken back from others around the state. We got an extra $200,000 to go towards, infrastructure stuff over at the riverfront, which is a lot of our stuff's increased on cost, so it's just covering some of the original scopes. And then Rick's here, I don't know, what was that number, like 180 plus to put in new seating at the Rone also, right? Yeah, 184. Yeah, so it's just
in addition to what was originally.
Yeah.
Good.
So
it was 244 seats, so awesome. And to sit down as a $705 chair. So
That's good. The Festival of Trees was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So I do want to say that. That was a great event.
More places to sit down for the regatta.
That's right. Yeah. John, do you have something?
No, sir.
Okay. We're making our request, executive session. So everybody, Merry Christmas. Have a happy and safe holiday season. So, Nate.
Make a motion to go to executive session and discuss personnel with mayor, HR director, finance director, and I don't know if we need
mayor, HR, finance.
Yes.
Contracts also?
Do you need?
Oh, and contracts, yeah. So, sorry about that.
Yeah.
You were almost.
No action.
No action to follow.
Okay, so, great.
That's right.
Motion by Nate to enter executive session with mayor, HR, finance director, city solicitor, council.
Personnel contracts.
Personnel and contracts, no action to follow. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Sims. Aye.
Okay, so let's see what I gotta say real quick.
5 minutes.
53.